Welcome to BTA Fridays Breaking the Algorithm. I'm your host, Kelly Morgan. This is where indie authors stop chasing trends. We build strategy, visibility, and confidence. Around here, we don't follow the algorithm. We break it and put something better in its place. Let's get to today's episode. Everybody, Kelly here. Welcome to another episode of BTA Fridays. This is where we break the algorithm and we put something better in its place. This is the place where indie authors simply stop chasing trends and start building strategy, visibility, and confidence. What do we always say? Around here, y'all, we do not follow the algorithm. We break it and we put something better in its place. So, y'all, BTA Fridays year in review. We made it. This is the last Friday of 2025. And when I look back on the year, specifically with BTA Fridays premiered on July 11th. And I have been consistently here every single Friday. Over the last 25 Fridays, we have talked about email, how to pitch, how I got scammed, anthologies, vision board parties, buying fake followers, the 12 by 12 indie author challenge, audiobooks on a budget, Goodreads. We talked about BookBubs. We talked about book festivals. We talked about book awards. We talked about indie author Toolkit. I talked about Substack. I talked about threads. I talked about what worked, what didn't work. All of these things have been outside the algorithm. And because it's the year in review, everything I talk about is still out there. It's every single episode is still out there so that you can go back and binge and apply all of these really great techniques. So when I started BTA Fridays, you guys, it's because it came from a real place. I don't know about you, but me personally, I felt like I was screaming into a void. Oh my God, social media and the algorithm just not kind to me. I just wasn't feeling the love. So I thought, you know what? If I can figure out ways to promote my books outside the algorithm, then I was going to turn this journey into a series and I was going to try stuff and I was going to share whatever I learned, right? And hope that it helped somebody else. And maybe somebody else would feel a little bit less invisible and they would feel like they had some support and, we're in it together and we're going to build a community. That is why I built BTA. So every topic that I've put out here has answered at least one of these questions. How does this protect your time, your money, or your energy? How does this build long-term infrastructure? And how does this get your book in front of real readers, right? So let's walk through what we covered this year, what I learned, and how you can take these episodes and use them as kind of a roadmap, right? Always want to be helpful. So hopefully this helps. First of all, most importantly, at least to me, protecting your time, your money, and your energy. And you know what? We talked about the messy stuff that no one wants to admit out loud. I think I did a whole episode on how I got scammed, right? And I told you all when I was first in this indie author world, I met a publisher who gassed me up and then took my money and then ghosted me, right? I talked about anthologies and how anthologies can be a great way as you as an author to get yourself out there. Buying fake followers and why you probably shouldn't do that, but why some of us do. Book festivals, the ones that maybe are appropriate and not appropriate. Book awards, are they worth your time? I recorded all of these thinking about all the ways that indie authors are told if you just pay for this one thing, everything will change. Anthologies are good, but sometimes they overpromise, right? Sometimes scammy services are hidden behind fancy websites like book awards, right? And sometimes, in those book awards and those book festivals, the winner is who paid the fee, right? And sometimes festivals will cost you more than you'll ever make back. So those are things that you need to consider when you go down those roads, right? And so in those episodes, I shared, what I've done and why I regretted it. Things that I've seen other authors get burned by, and red flags that show up over and over again. So, if you remember one thing from those episodes, let it be this: your time, your money, and your energy are all resources, y'all, and you have to protect them. You do not have to pay to be seen. You can build something real, but it's going to take time, right? And that quick growth, that buying followers and all that stuff, probably not worth it. So let me just a rule of thumb, right? If you are feeling pressured or rushed into spending money because they're telling you that you're going to miss out, then you know what? Hit the pause button, go back and watch those episodes, and then decide if it's worth it for you to move forward. All right. Number two, we dug into things like building your author infrastructure. And that's the unsexy part, right? That's the part that nobody talks about. We talked about email, why your list is one of the few things that you truly own and why it is gold. I talked about Substack, right? And how that's a place where it's your words and it's your email list, and those people who subscribe are interested in hearing from you. I also talked about threads, and I actually just dived into threads. It's not a magical solutions, but it is another way to really connect with other indie authors. I also talked about the indie author toolkit and how you can use this when you're out there pitching, right? It's not swag. This is a part of your indie author repertoire. Repertoire? Is that how you say it? Yeah, repertoire. That you need. All right. I also talked about the 12 by 12 challenge, and that's building consistency, building content one piece at a time. And then I also talked about a vision board party, and that is pairing mindset and strategy, not just manifesting, right? So that whole block of episodes to me is all how to build your infrastructure, you cannot build a long-term author career on platforms that you don't own, right? You don't own social media, right? But you do own the email. You do own the Substack, right? And we talked about that. We talked about challenges like the 12 by 12, not as trends, but as tools to keep you moving and, especially when the excitement wears off. And the vision board party, well, it's not about just cutting out, pretty pictures from magazines. It's about, what do you actually want your author like to, what do you actually want that your author life to look like? What are you willing to build, right? And how slow that's going to be. And are you willing to really take the time it is to get there? So if you're feeling scattered or you think that, you need some new strategy, go back and watch those episodes, right? Start there. Now, if you are moved into getting your books in front of real readers, well, we dove into Goodreads and how, because that's a reader facing platform. It's just not a place to fear reviews. That's a great place to interact. BookBub, what you can and cannot do and what's realistic. Book festivals, how to choose the ones that make sense for you. And audiobooks on a budget. How to really get into the audiobook market without going broke. Those episodes were all about going from how do I get more views, right, to how do I get my book into front of people who actually want to read what I wrote, right? Goodreads and BookBub are not magic buttons, right? Book festivals are not guaranteed sales, and audiobooks aren't, a kind of set it out there and forget it passive income stream. But all of them are different ways to meet readers where they are, right? Layer your visibility, make it easier for you to make it easier for someone to discover you out there, not just in a feed or, randomly. So, if you're in the season where you're trying to push your book a little harder, go back and look at those episodes. The Goodreads, the BookBub, the festival, and the audiobook episodes make a great mini playlist for you, right? Now, For if you are spending time on pitching an email and you want to, actually make it work for you, I talked about how to pitch without begging, how to send emails that respect people's time, and how to think about collaboration without chasing clout, right? Those episodes came from my own experience of being tired, tired of asking for permission, tired of waiting to be chosen, tired of hearing, build your own platform, but no real roadmap. So BTA Fridays came from that space. And that's when I say, you know what, you guys, here are the things that I've tried. Here are the things that worked, and here's what I would do differently now. And so here you can skip some of the painful stuff that I went through because it just didn't work, right? And then at the heart of all of these episodes, which I think is a really good episode, is the Indie Author Toolkit episode. It's not just a catchphrase, you guys. It's not just a checklist. If you see yourself as both as an author and an entrepreneur, which now they've coined the term authorpreneur, then you need these tools. You need these systems, you need the boundaries, because you need to treat your work like it matters, because it does, right? So if you're looking around your indie author career and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to start over, go back and look at the toolkit episode, and that's your reset. And then get these tools and relaunch if that's what you have to do. It's okay to pivot, it's okay to stop, it's okay to take a break, it's okay to do all of those things. As long as you come back stronger, maybe with strategy and some intention, then you'll have longevity. Because I'm telling you, man, this indie author world will eat you alive. It is exhausting out there trying to get your book in front of people who actually want to read it. So when I look back from July 11th till now, there's a pattern that I really didn't see until I sat down and was looking at the year in review. Every topic that I covered falls into one of these three buckets. It's either protect yourself, build your infrastructure, and reach real readers. And every single one of those is about breaking the algorithm. It's not about, and I'm not talking just the TikTok and Instagram algorithm. I'm talking the industry algorithm, right? The algorithm that says pay first and maybe get something later. The algorithm that says be grateful for any attention that you get. The algorithm that says don't ask questions. The algorithm that says don't set boundaries. Well, we're not doing that here. We're breaking that algorithm. We're saying no to scams and to vanity metrics. We're saying yes to ownership and intention. We're choosing long-term strategy over quick hits and short-lived trends. That's what BTA is all about, you guys. And on a personal note, this series has also been a test to my own consistency. Every single Friday, whether or not the numbers were low or growing slow, whether or not I was tired or energized, whether or not I was confident that day or doubtful, I can't even speak, I still showed up. And that to me is a win, because consistency will show up long before any metrics do. And honestly, you guys, that's what BTA Friday taught me. It taught me that my voice matters even when the numbers are quiet, that indie authors need real talk, not recycled advice, and that there's always another way to build, even when it feels like no one is watching. So you're saying, okay, this is great. So what do you do with all this information? So since this has been the year in review and everything is out there live on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, you can turn this into your own little BTA binge plan. So if you're feeling, say, burnt out by the money stuff, start off with the episode where I talk about how I got scammed, and the episode about buying fake followers and book awards and anthology. Start off with those. If you're feeling scattered or overwhelmed, then start off with maybe maybe the episode on email, or the episode on Substack, or the Indie Author Toolkit, or the 12 by 12. You know what would be a really good episode if you're feeling overwhelmed and scattered is the vision board party episode, which I think is great if you're looking to get grounded and maybe kind of really figure out really what you want your indie author journey and your indie author career to look like. If you're feeling like you're ready to really push that book, just get out there and market that book. Start with the Goodreads and BookBub episodes. Watch the episode on book festivals and watch the episode on audiobooks on a budget. You never know. That book that you have might make a wonderful audiobook, and it might be within reach more than you think. Pick a lane that matches where you are right now. Listen, take notes, try one thing at a time, and then come back next Friday as we keep building. So, to close this out, I want to say thank you. Like I said, you guys, I've been here every Friday since July 11th, and I counted them. That's 25 Fridays, 25 times that I was out here trying to build a community and break the algorithm. And I'm not done with the 25 times. I'm going to be out here 26, 27, 28, 29, and on. You know what? I see you and I appreciate you and thank you for watching. So if you watch BTA Fridays, I appreciate you. If this is the first episode you've ever watched, ever, I so appreciate you. And if this resonates with you, like, subscribe, share, whatever your vibe is, but help me build a community where we are breaking the algorithm one view, one like, one share at a time. This is how we build community, y'all. So I got to do it. I got to go through the laundry list of stuff. So if you are an indie author, no, I always say that. If you are a creative in this space and you are interested in coming on the author's mic, I do that every Monday consistently. All you got to do is go to my website, brightheadedpublishing.com, fill out the information under the Be a Guest tab, and boom, you're on easy peasy. If you are on your indie author journey, but you're stuck, I got a 44-page guide for you. It's on my website, you guys, and guess what? It is 100% free. Go get it. Start your journey. Your words matter. If you have any interest in supporting me whatsoever, you can buy my 2 books, Wait for It and You Sound White. You can get them directly from me. I will ship them to you for free. I've got some free goodies to go in the books with you, and I'll sign them, but no pressure. You can get them wherever good books are sold. And lastly, if you are into book clubs, guess what? We have one. It is called the IRS, the Indie Reader Society. The information is on the website. I think it's on the More tab. If you click on the More tab and scroll down, you'll see, I think it's at the bottom, it says Join the Indie Reader Society. Join as a reader. We'd love to have your voice. I would love to see this book club get as big as possible. That is a goal of mine for 2026. And if you are an indie author, the book club only reads and supports indie authors. So we would love for you to pitch us, tell us all about your book. And you know what? We just might read it. That's what pitching is, y'all. So we don't know about your book unless you tell us, right? So pitch us. All right, you guys, like I said, BTA Fridays came from a place of breaking the algorithm. I wanted to come out here and show you what I'm doing. I wanted to share it with you at the same time. Hopefully, this helps somebody, resonate somebody. And like I said, I appreciate you. If you have been watching, thank you. If you're new, thank you. Hit that subscribe button and come back next Friday and let's see what we got to break the algorithm some more. All right, you guys, I will see you next year. Have a good holiday. Be safe, be happy, be well, and I'll catch you next Friday.